Good morning, everybody. Dan Hartwig here from Fossil Creek Nursery, Colorado Certified Nursery Professional. Welcome to our ongoing and continuing series of live stream and pre-recorded plant talks. Today is about celebrating trees. It's like, wow, could they have given me a more wide open topic to talk about? Where do I go with celebrating trees? You know, folks, if you're tuning into this, you already know how awesome trees is, how awesome living with trees are. I'm not going to waste my time, your time, by trying to convince you about why you should have a tree in your residential landscape, in your commercial landscape, just to go look at. Today, we're going to be talking about how to select a tree at your nursery, how to get the right plant for the right place. Every time you tune in and we're doing these talks, you're going to hear me say that: right plant, right place. It's the most important thing in our industry, and I'm going to give you some hints about getting the right plant in the right place when it comes to a tree. And also, I'm going to be sharing some of my favorites. Well, Dan, where to start? Hey, watching this video is a great place to start, but just let you know it's only a start. This is a live stream. This isn't an academic source. This is someone with a rudimentary horticulture education giving you some basics. I'm always going to recommend consult an academic source. Consult someone with a more advanced horticulture degree than I do. Talk to your extension agent. Read your extension agent's publications. Where do I start? Oh, here's where I'd start. This is one of the best publications you'll find on the internet. You can print it out, cut it in half. The pages will be all completely out of order because it's set up to print back-to-back, two-sided. I don't know how to do that, so I just cut it up and stapled it. This is the recommended trees for Colorado Front Range communities. This is written by CSU Extension, the Colorado Forest Service, and the Colorado Tree Coalition. People who know their stuff. Excellent, excellent source. If I was gonna consult just one source about how to pick a tree, it would be this guy. Come in and see me at Fossil Creek. I'll print you one out. I'll staple it. I'll even get the pages in the right order. All right. So I roll into my nursery. I say, I want a tree, Dan. This tree says it's going to be 25 foot tall, 25 foot wide on the grower's tag. It's like, okay. Is that nearly enough information to make a good choice? Not even close. What else do I need to know? I need to know exposure. I need to know growing habits. Hey, every single thing, every single piece of nursery stock we sell it here at Fossil Creek is hardy to zone 5. That's USDA hardiness zone. All that means is, will it survive our minimum sustained low temperature through the winter? I'll tell you right away, the biggest challenge to growing a tree in northern Colorado, southern Wyoming, the northern Front Range, isn't cold hardiness. It's our soils. It's our late unpredictable freezes. It's our cold, then hot, dry and windy winters. All right, 25 by 25, what does that mean to me? Well, the grower, all they're going to say is that tree may have a 25-foot height. It may have a 25-foot spread. Folks, it's a living thing. We can't make any promises for its behavior. Also, what is this tree going to look like 25 tall, 25 foot wide? All right, here's the most important thing to remember. In my talks, I probably call a lot of things I talk about the most important thing. I apologize about that. My enthusiasm for this topic sometimes overrides my organization. Start with the place. Start with the place. Say, I've got an empty section of my lawn. I've got an empty section of the side of my home. I've got a short, narrow section where I would rather look at a tree than look at my neighbors. They're perfectly nice folks, but I'd prefer not to watch them drinking coffee in their underwear every morning. Start with the place. Don't start with the plant. Don't let anyone tell you you need a certain plant. Don't let anyone tell you you have to have an autumn blaze maple. You have to have anything. Start with the place. Describe the place. Take some pictures of the place. Come see your certified nursery professional, and we will help you get the right plant, in this case a tree, for that place. Back to 25 by 25. First of all, is that tree really going to get 25 by 25? Well, I'll tell you right away, we copy and paste that from the information that came from the grower of that tree. That, for all we know, that's a San Diego number. That's an Oregon number. That's a Washington State number. It's a Mid-Atlantic number. That number is usually going to be overly optimistic. Also, so I got a tree that's 25 tall, 25 wide. What's it going to look like? Well, here are, so just to let you know, if you ask me to do a thumbnail sketch of a landscape for you, all my trees have smiley faces. Well, except for weeping and irregular. Here are some of the possible shapes. We can sell you a tree and say, Dan, I've got a room for a 25-foot canopy. I've got room for a 25-foot skirt. I'd like a tree that get 25 feet tall. It could be any number of these shapes. Have an idea of what you have in mind. Have some goals for your tree. Don't just say, we must have a tree here, or definitely don't let anyone tell you you have to have a so-and-so tree. Don't let your HOA tell you you have to have a so-and-so tree. That's a whole rabbit hole we can get down to is conducting ourselves in accordance with HOA regulations. So I've printed out my recommended trees for the Front Range. I've read this thing. It's only 12 pages. It's a great read. It's got great illustrations. It's written by people who have a more advanced horticulture degree than I do. Excellent resource. Come talk to your Colorado certified nursery professional. Then next step is pick out a tree. Today I'm just going to throw at you some of my favorites. Why are they my favorites? Well, I'm a homeowner. I am lucky enough to own a home in the Northern Front Range. Small house, big lot, which is what they used to do in the old days. I have got 6 mature trees on my property, which means I don't get to pick out a tree anymore, so I have to live vicariously through you nice folks. I do, however, like to think about, if I had room, what would I put in? All right. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to categorize the tree I'm looking for in one of 3 ways. Do I want an ornamental tree? Do I want a shade tree? Do I want an evergreen? What do I mean by that? Well, as a rule, rules are made to be broken, our industry considers a tree that is usually less than 25 foot tall, less than 25 foot wide, usually has flowers, often has fruit, as an ornamental tree. The purpose of that tree is to be looked at and enjoyed. That tree can be used for screening, for blocking an objectionable or dull or offensive view. It can be there just because I like to look at it. Don't really expect this tree to have a... Oh, that's so kind of you to say you'd like a poster of this. Best I can do is I'll make you a photocopy if you come see me. I'll even sign it. All right. Ornamental tree, less than 25 foot tall, less than 25 foot wide. Nice to look at, often flowering and fruiting. Advantages of that, hey, a lot of new construction has big houses, little lots. A lot of people are dealing with tight spaces. Ornamental tree is a great choice for that. So here is a few of my favorites. Crab apples. Crab apples are in the recommended list. Most species of crabapple get a B rating from CSU Extension. Why just a B? Well, B means conditionally recommended. There's things that you have to know about ornamental trees. Trees that flower and fruit tend to have more insect and disease pressures than shade trees. Should I get one? Absolutely. How am I going to prevent it from getting insects and diseases? First of all, plant health care. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is we're going to keep a happy, healthy, vigorous tree. Just like happy, healthy, vigorous people, they get less disease problems than people who are in poor health. We keep our tree in good health, it is significantly less likely to get disease. Would I have any concern about getting a tree that's susceptible to fire blight? Not at all. All crab apples are susceptible to diseases like fire blight. They are selected to be fire blight resistant. That does not mean fire blight proof. Now, great thing about crab apples is I tell people again and again, this is not my grandmother's crab apple. This is not going to drop sticky red fruit all summer long. I'm not going to have to rake it up every single day or have my grandmother yell at me in German. Most crabs we have, with a few exceptions, are either sterile, they don't have any fruit. For example, the spring snow crab, it's probably our best-selling ornamental tree here at Fossil Creek Nursery. It's a great tree. The city of Fort Collins likes to plant these things in medians. That's a terrible place to plant a tree, but that gives you an idea of how tough these things are. Or crab apples like the Radiant, the Prairie Fire, the Red Baron. They have small, persistent fruit. What do I mean by persistent? I mean it's small fruit, and it has evolved to dry up on that tree to have its seed spread by birds, rather than to drop that fruit as it ripens to have its seed spread by browsing mammals. Crab apples, great choice. We probably have no less than 20 varieties of crab apples here at Fossil Creek Nursery. I can sell you one in a container or balled and burlapped. All right, what other kinds of ornamental trees I have? Hawthorns. Hawthorns are excellent little trees. Hawthorns have irregular or umbrella shaped. Hawthorns are genuinely interesting to look at. Hawthorns bloom a little bit after crab apples. If I was going to have two ornamental trees, I would have a crab apple and a hawthorn. That way, when that crab apple is done flowering, hawthorn takes off. We have hawthorns with pink flowers, with white flowers. They can be multi-stemmed, which is a natural habit, or pruned up to be single stem. If you want to talk hawthorns, I'd love to talk hawthorns with you. All right, other ornamental trees. Callery pear. That's a generic term for all sorts of ornamental pears. Now, some of you may have heard of the Bradford pear. It's a tree that gets a D rating from CSU Extension. We do not carry them here at Fossil Creek Nursery. We sell a much improved Callery ornamental pear called the Cleveland pear. It is a rock star tree. I'd expect this thing to get 30 foot tall, 15 foot wide. It's the first tree to leaf out in the spring. It's got awesome white flowers. It's one of the last trees to drop its leaves. It's got a few weeks of really nice red fall color. Hey, advantages and disadvantages to all trees. Ask your certified nursery professional, what are the good and bad things about this tree? Ask an academic source, what are the good and bad things about the tree I'm thinking of? Ask your extension agent, what are the good and bad things? Just remember, when you look on an academic source, and to get that, type in that .edu after your Google search. Ask what the good and bad things are. I'll tell you right away, bad thing about ornamental pears is they have a short life expectancy. I'd only expect about 40 years out of this. All right, what else do we have? I love these trees. Serviceberry. Serviceberry is a shrub, Dan. Yeah, it's also a tree. Just remember, there's absolutely no difference physiologically from a tree to a shrub. Natural habit is multi-stem. We do have some that are branched, meaning lollipop shape, round. 3-season interest from a serviceberry. White flowers in the spring. They're blooming right now. Tasty, edible red fruit. Looks like a blueberry, tastes like a raspberry. The birds are going to try to beat you to them, so you got to keep an eye at them. And really just knock your face off red fall color. Serviceberry is an amazingly versatile plant. It'll grow in 49 states. I don't know if anyone is watching from Hawaii, but I'm sorry, you're out of luck. You can't grow a serviceberry there. Finally, ready for this? I'm going to select a maple as my 5th choice for an ornamental tree. Dan, you don't like maples. You've told us before. Maples have trouble with our soil chemistry. Maples have weak wood. You should consider all the pros and cons before planting a maple. You said this, Dan. I don't think I made that up. You can rewind this and watch and probably heard me say some unkind things about maples. This is a great maple. I'm going to recommend a tree called the Tartarian or Hot Wings maple. Native to southwestern Colorado, discovered down by Four Corners. It tolerates our alkaline soil because it's a native. It's drought tolerant because it's a native. It doesn't seem to have the problem with breakage because it's a native. This is a tree that's going to get about 20 foot tall, 20 foot wide. Multi-stem is its natural habit. We can sell it to you branched. Great thing about this maple, the Hot Wings, is kind of mid to late summer. It is going to get absolutely covered by bright red clusters of samaras. Those are the little helicopter seed seed pods. It'll look like it's in flower. It's not. It's actually under seed. Great looking tree. Then it just has unbelievable red fall color. Great tree. All right, those are my top 5 ornamental trees. Now, shade trees. When we're talking shade trees, I'm talking about a tree not that grows in the shade, but provides shade. As a rule, these are trees that are going to get over 25 foot tall, over 25 foot wide when they're mature. As far as size, upper size goes, sky's the limit. If you want a big old shade tree, we can talk about that. If you have the space, big tree is a great answer. All right. My favorite shade tree is the Kentucky coffee tree. Never heard of that tree, Dan? Does it grow great here? Yes, it does. Gets an A rating from CSU Extension. It's in the USDA recommended list. We sell here at Fossil Creek Nursery a great cultivar, cultivated variety, of that tree called the espresso. You see, that's clever because it's a coffee tree. Kentucky coffee tree is a slow grower, but here's the thing is, while it's becoming a shade tree, this tree will get 35 foot tall, 35 foot wide. You're going to have a lot of years of enjoying it as an ornamental tree. It's got big compound leaves that are the shape and color of spinach. I think they're neat looking. Little clusters of white flowers, awesome copper fall color. This tree has great drought tolerance, great insect and disease resistance, neat open irregular canopy. CSU Extension has one complaint about this tree: limited availability. They say they're hard to come by. We got them here. We have a lot of them here. Espresso Kentucky coffee tree, #1 choice for shade trees. Honey locusts. Honey locusts are great trees. Drought tolerant, don't seem to have a lot of insect and disease. I have 4 different honey locusts I could sell you here at Fossil Creek Nursery. They're all cloned from male specimens, meaning they're not going to have seed pods. They're all selected to be thornless. I've got one that is selected to be a street tree, meaning selected to be planted between a residential street and a sidewalk, that has a tall, skinny columnar habit. I've got a medium-sized one called the Imperial. I've got a medium to large-sized one called the Skyline. I've got a great big honey locust called the Shade Master. Excellent, excellent trees. All right, linden. Linden are among the nicest trees you can plant and grow here in northern Colorado. They do really well. A rating from CSU Extension, USDA recommended. The one I'm going to be talking about today is called the Greenspire linden. That's a cultivated variety of the little leaf linden. Linden have a nice pyramidal, dense, formal habit, where a Kentucky coffee tree or a honey locust are for a loose, irregular, little wild-looking landscape. Linden is a great choice for a formal, proper landscape. It's the most fragrant tree I can sell you. Also, it is a tree that bends but doesn't break. It can shrug off storm damage really, really well. All right, #4 pick for shade trees, northern catalpa. This thing grows like a weed. They're gorgeous. It's the biggest flowering tree I can sell you. Big clusters of white flowers. Leaves the size of your head or a dinner plate. Really interesting seed pods in the wintertime. Tends to be a little taller and narrower. I'd expect this to get 60 foot tall, 30 foot wide in its lifetime. It does so reasonably quickly. A-rated tree, catalpa. Finally, oaks. I'm going to recommend the bur oak. Oaks are underplanted here in the Northern Front Range because they've gotten a reputation as slow growing. Hey, sorry friends, with the exception of some things I can sell you that are kind of awful, most things are slow growing in the Northern Front Range. We're not Oregon, we're not San Diego, we're not the Mid-Atlantic. Be patient. If you buy a balled and burlap specimen, we can get you a pretty decent sized, well-established tree at your place. The reason I like the bur oak is oaks can support and sustain more backyard wildlife than any other tree. They feed the mammals. They're home for the birds. They support beneficial insects. They have this cool haunted house look when they leaf out when they drop their leaves in the fall. All right, so we've talked about ornamental trees. We've talked about shade trees. Let's talk about evergreens. Don't plant an evergreen as a street tree. The most important thing to remember about all evergreens is it will grow until the day it dies. I'm going to say that again because it's really important. Evergreens, conifers, will grow till the day they die. But Dan, the grower's tag here says this is going to get so tall and so wide. Well, first of all, I wish they wouldn't do that, but I'm just a certified nursery professional at a family-owned nursery. I don't make that call. If I had my way, they would put a 10-year height on that. Some of the growers are doing that. Some of the better growers like Isley are putting a 10-year height and width on that tree. Don't expect your evergreen to stop growing because the tag says it's going to stop growing. Please don't plant a Colorado blue spruce 6 feet from your house. Someone's going to have to pay a lot of money to cut down and kill a beautiful living thing if we do that. Doesn't matter if it's not you. You are sending that tree into the future for someone else to either enjoy or have a tragedy. I don't want to sell you a tragedy. I want to sell you something that you really, really enjoy for many, many years. All right. What are my evergreen choices? Of course, it's going to be the Colorado blue spruce, Picea pungens. It's our state tree for a reason. I sell seed-grown varieties, which are going to be genetically different. Some may be a little bit more blue, some may be a little bit more green, some may be looser, tighter, more put out a fat skirt, put out a skinny skirt. Hey, everything I sell you is a living thing, and I can't make any promises about its behavior, especially seed-grown. We also sell cloned varieties of Colorado blue spruce. Some examples are Baby Blue Eyes, Fat Albert, Hoopsie Eye, Baker. These have been cloned, and it's not as scary as it sounds. All it means is there's a tree they really like. It probably lives in Oregon, where they've taken cuttings, dipped them in some rooting hormone, stuck them in some potting mix in a moisture tent, grown genetically identical trees. Both of them will perform really, really well. Bring us a picture of your spot. Tell us what your goals are. We'll help you pick out the right one. Number 2, I'm going to recommend a different spruce, which is actually a white spruce, called a Black Hills spruce. A little slower growing, a little smaller mature size than a Colorado spruce. Darker color, smaller, finer needles, really unique tree, really underplanted tree in my opinion. Black Hills spruce. My third choice, Austrian pine. Now, did I choose one of our native pines? Why would I not choose a ponderosa? Here's the problem with our natives. In a residential landscape, especially if it shares its space with turf grass or other higher water use plants, most natives, for example, the ponderosa, the pinon, and the lodgepole, are going to get overwatered. So I'm going to recommend a tree from a more temperate, wet environment, Austrian pine. Now, this will get 40 foot tall in its lifetime, put out a 30-foot skirt, and unlike the ponderosa, which limbs itself up as it matures, this keeps a low skirt. Super versatile evergreen tree. When you drive into Wyoming, you will see that the highway department has planted these as wind blocks. Tough, versatile tree. Love the Austrian pine. Okay, so Dan, what if I have a little smaller space? Bosnian pine. Especially some of the dwarf varieties such as Emerald Arrow, Compact Gem, Mint Truffle. If you have a tighter spot in your landscape, in your garden, you want a really, really attractive, low trouble, drought tolerant pine tree, Bosnian pine. It will take decades and decades and decades to outgrow your space. We have a really nice mature example I'd love to show you here at Fossil Creek Nursery. Some varieties like the Compact Gem, I love this. They have purple pine cones. I didn't make that up. All right, last choice for an evergreen in your landscape, Norway spruce, columnar in shape. I'm putting tall, skinny tree, great for a tight spot. Prefers a little shade when being established. Dark green needles. When it gets its new growth every year, oh my goodness, this is just charming. It's lime green foliage on top of dark green, tall and skinny, great for a tight place. I can't say enough good things about a columnar Norway spruce. All right, I'm getting a little long-winded, as I've been known to do. We're getting a low on time. Folks out there, I really, really appreciate your tuning in today. If you're watching this video on YouTube, we're gonna put my list and some links to our inventory of the 15 trees I've recommended, the 5 ornamental, the 5 shade trees, the 5 evergreens down in the comments down there. Click like, click subscribe. My name is Dan, Certified Nursery Professional. Please give us a call. Hey, thanks again.